Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mr. G's Weather Channel. My name is Mr. G, your weather forecaster for this channel, and thank you for joining me in this video. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about your weather forecast for the remainder of your Sunday afternoon and evening, as well as Monday and into Election Day and the week ahead. So thank you for joining me today. And this video will be shown on TikTok and YouTube, so you can just check me on out over there, and I'm sure it'll come up in your For You page on TikTok, and however YouTube shares their videos, I don't know, but hopefully you'll see it there. But thank you for joining me today, and we're going to jump into the weather forecast as we talk about the rest of your Sunday and your election day ahead. So our first map today, we're going to be talking about what's going on the East Coast and in the Northeast, particularly in the Great Lakes. And we're going to see multiple weak fronts coming through. And in between those fronts, we will have some pretty substantial warm-ups. So significant warm-ups and cool-downs, quite the roller coaster ahead, and we're going to be seeing brief cool downs in between those substantial warm-ups. But below average rainfall will continue across the Northeast, even though we're currently seeing a little bit of rain across Michigan and Wisconsin right now. But for the most part, rainfall will remain below average, and we also see an elevated fire risk across the Northeast in particular at times. So as we also, like I mentioned before, the temperature up and down is a roller coaster. It's going to make your head spin. So highs are going to be in the 70s and to lower 80s across the Northeast, from Portland, Maine, all the way down to Raleigh, North Carolina. So the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic states will see a period of warmer weather from the early part of the week to the middle of the week. So that means a nice warm day for your voting on Tuesday, and we're going to see record warmth for some folks, and an increased fire risk as well. And here is a look at the some of those temperatures that we are going to see, especially on your Wednesday. Some record challenging high temperatures as we head into your Wednesday. For the nation's capital, your forecast high is 80 degrees. You're looking at tie it from your 2015 record, as well as Philly, 80 degrees forecast for Wednesday. You're looking to break a record of 79 set back in 1948. And for the Big Apple, 78 degrees is your Wednesday forecast high. Your record is 75 for this day back in 2022. And in Hartford, Connecticut, a forecast high of 77 for Wednesday, and your record was 76. And that was also set back in 22. And in Portland, Maine, where your high is forecasted to be 72, but your record was 71, and that was in 2020. And what was significant about all of those winters? They were La Nina winters. So La Nina is what those all have in common. So thinking of fall foliage, if you didn't get to really see the fall colors in the Northeast or in Canada, the upper Midwest, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, it's too late. You missed all of that. The peak season has passed. Some areas are currently in their peak, and we are seeing some widespread leaves changing further to the south. So the Mid-Atlantic, so if you're down in North Carolina, maybe Texas, down across southern Arkansas, Tennessee, the deep south, down there, but now, your leaves are starting to, you're patchy, just getting widespread, but you're not peaking yet. But we are peaking right now in New England and Long Island. So New York, the Long Island, the coast, maybe the coastal areas of New Jersey, southern New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, down through on the eastern side of the Appalachians to the North Carolina. You're peaking right now, and we are peaking across Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, near the river. So along the Mississippi River from St. Louis down through the deep south, it's just starting to peak. So those aren't really the prime viewing areas. The Northeast, Canada, the upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes really have a lock on the best places to view that, but you missed that point already. And the drought continues, even though we're seeing some rainfall right now across the upper Midwest, but in the Great Lakes, there's some rain falling across Michigan and Wisconsin and across the North and South Dakota. But that drought will continue, even though we're going to get some drought relief for some of you folks this week, and some pretty substantial rainfall is going to fall across portions of the Mid-South. So if you're down through Arkansas, Missouri, maybe through western Tennessee, Kentucky, up into the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, we're going to see some pretty substantial rain moving into Minnesota, Wisconsin again, Michigan, down through Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, East Texas, and along the Gulf Coast. So some of you folks is going to get some pretty good rainfall through Wednesday of next week. So some wet weather is in store, but if you are in like the Northeast, that drought will continue to intensify as it's going to remain pretty dry, and we are kind of sort of in dry conditions. But some areas, especially in the northeastern corner of Maine, we're looking at moderate drought conditions, and across the state of Massachusetts. But if you go to western Massachusetts, like eastern Massachusetts, south of Boston, extreme drought conditions. We're looking at extreme drought over eastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey to Delaware, and we got a severe drought over eastern Maryland, Virginia, but we have moderate drought and dry conditions over southern Virginia, Kentucky, southern Ohio, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri. So we are looking at drought conditions over there. And as far as severe weather is concerned, for your Sunday, we're already seeing quite a bit of severe weather. There were several tornadoes touching down in Oklahoma already today. So we are looking at a pretty moderate severe weather threat across Oklahoma today. And we have a marginal risk up into portions of southeastern Missouri. That includes Springfield and Branson. And then Arkansas from Little Rock through Fayetteville, Poplar Bluff, across southern Kansas, which includes Wichita and Coffeyville, and down into North Texas. So San Angelo, Abilene, Dallas, as well, are have a forecast for some isolated severe thunderstorms today. But the more concentrated risk is going to be central and southern Oklahoma. So Tulsa to Oklahoma City to Wichita Falls, Kansas, Ardmore, over to McAllister, over Oklahoma is where we have the greatest threat today for some of those severe thunderstorms. And they are be producing tornadoes, large hail, flash flooding, and we're already seeing that across Oklahoma right now as I record this video. Localized damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and the AccuWeather on the local StormX winds can reach 85 miles an hour for the bigger storms. And then your Monday forecast, severe thunderstorms are in the forecast once again. Some of the same areas that's been getting hit by severe weather over the last period of time for the last couple of weeks, we are going to see that again. potentially from Des Moines, Iowa, all the way down to Austin, Texas. So Austin, Dallas, Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Springfield, Missouri, St. Louis, Kansas City, Salina, Kansas, Wichita, all the way up to northern Iowa, under the risk again for severe weather for Monday, tomorrow. So tornadoes, large hail, flash flooding, wind damaging winds could reach 70 miles per hour, and your stronger storms can have winds up to 90 miles per hour. So, could we see another derecho in November? Okay, it only remains to see. But I will be here, and I will track that weather forecast tomorrow. And as things unfold, and I will make several videos throughout the day, probably do some lives as well to cover the weather activity. So get you ready for activity for your election day on Tuesday. And here is a look at, okay, we're going back. So, again, we have significant rainfall. And that rainfall will extend from southern, we're talking about the Michigan, from the Upper Peninsula across the boot of Michigan, down across Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, southeastern Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, northeastern Mississippi, northwestern Mississippi, northwestern Louisiana, northern Texas, and Oklahoma will have some very heavy rain and thunderstorms as well. And that is going to go through Tuesday, through election day. So get out there and vote, and hopefully early. I think for most places, early voting is over. So if you didn't vote already, you have to wait till Tuesday, and hopefully you can dodge raindrops to go vote. And then we're going to look at a whole bunch of rain, especially across Oklahoma, southern Kansas, Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, where we're going to see 8 to 12 inches of rain possible. And we're going to see maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain over portions of Michigan, Wisconsin. We can see 2 to 4. But if you're in Kansas City, Des Moines, Wichita, 4 to 8 inches of rain. But Springdale, Oklahoma City, 8 to 12 inches. Dallas is in the 2 to 4. Amarillo, Texas, Abilene, 2 to 4 inches of rain. So some areas pick up an isolated amount of 18 plus inches. So a lot of rainfall is forecast to fall across a good portion of the Midwest. A very wet week in store for a lot of you in the Midwest viewing area. So from the Southern Plains to the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River area, you're going to see a lot of rain this week. And a very wet week is in store for you folks. So your election day weather forecast across America: warm and dry on the East Coast. So from the Southeast, the Mid-Atlantic to the Northeast, it's going to be warm and dry. But we might see a little bit of rain across Maine, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, rain showers in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. We're going to see some rain showers. So I already voted, so I don't have to worry about trying to go out and vote in the rain or snow or whatever. Rain across Iowa, portions of Kansas City, Missouri. But those thunderstorms, southwestern Indiana, the southern half of Illinois, southeastern half of Missouri, the western half of Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, all of Louisiana, Arkansas, and eastern Texas, severe thunderstorms, and maybe some more tornadoes might be possible. So it could be a stormy day for a lot of you folks on election day. And again, here's another look at your election day stormy corridor here. So showers and thunderstorms all the way up to Indianapolis, St. Louis, Little Rock, Shreveport, Houston, New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville, Frankfort, Kentucky, Lexington, Evanston, Indiana, uh, Springfield, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri. So a lot of wet weather across the South, the Southern Gulf Coast, the Mid South, along the Mississippi, all the way up almost to the Great Lakes. So a lot of rainfall on your election day Tuesday. And that'll do it for this weather forecast. Thank you for watching me today. My name is Mr. G, and this is Mr. G's Weather Channel. In the next video, we're going to talk about the tropics. So thank you for watching me. Stay tuned for the next video when we talk specifically and only about the tropical forecast.